It's amazing to me that you can care about me going to a party after hearing all that. I would bring you if you were able to go. I peer at him. You really don't believe any of this matters, do you? I don't know, Maeve, he mumbles. It's all just a bit too much. He starts to fidget with the protection charm around his neck. I hate this thing. They are draining my magic. I say, I know they are. I know that's what's been happening to me too. To everyone. He scratches where the leather string is touching his collarbone, still tutting to himself. Nuella, I know she means well, but God. Rue, I say sharply, you are not even listening. I am, he says, sounding exhausted. Right. Why does he suddenly feel like a stranger to me? I don't fully understand what's happening or how it happened so quickly. He sighs then. I am sure he's about to say sorry for being so dismissive. You know, I'm doing the psychology class. I needed to make up 20 credits with non-English stuff, so I chose psychology. Okay, I reply, thinking that this is a strange time to discuss his academic career. After I have been learning about post-traumatic stress disorder, coping with mechanisms. Okay, just with everything we went through with Lily, her going missing. We never got any counseling or therapy or anything like that. No, I answered, because that would mean pretending it was a suicide thing, which it wasn't. He clenches his hands on top of the steering wheel, his knuckles whitening. He rests his forehead on it briefly, as if tired of discussing this, despite being the one to bring it up. Whereas we know, I can't believe I'm even have to say this, that it was part of the ritual, right? Sometimes people create fantasies for themselves, he says quietly, as a response to trauma. I can't believe that I'm hearing you think that's what we are doing. I respond dumbfounded. You think this is all a giant coping mechanism that Nuala and her daughter are just in on for some reason? I remember Rue when he picked us up earlier this evening and his weird joke about how maybe it was just a bad bus driver who was responsible for this morning's horror. What is going on, Rue? What are you thinking? I think, he begins tentatively. I think my sister went missing for a month and then reappeared again. Different. His voice is so quiet now, so horribly quiet and still. I think we almost killed ourselves with knives. I don't even know what to say, right? And I think we've only had ourselves to rely on, along with an adult woman who runs a magic shop, and that maybe we sequestered ourselves all summer, playing these mad games in the tennis court to help us cope. Rue was, what are you talking about? I can feel panic rising in my chest, a sensation of everything around me being pretend like paint scenery in a theatre. You think I invented reading people's minds? But you can't read people's minds, can you, Maeve? Not right now, no. I'm almost breathless with frustration aware of how lame my own explanation sounds. He's making me feel absolutely insane because of the draining of the well, or because he says softly, because you don't need the fantasy anymore, because we made up all this stuff to feel powerful during the time when we felt helpless. And Rue, what? And now it's run its course. I suddenly remember the moment before he went to Dublin, when, holding him tight, I instructed that he forgot the ridiculous words that Alice from the children said to him. You are going to be surrounded by creativity, brilliant people, that you are going to completely forget about any of this. Rue, I say slowly, I don't think it's me who is traumatized. I think maybe you were so upset about the horrible woman at the Clarendon, that's that house party that they had, that you forgot her, but you forgot everything else too. Rue doesn't even let me finish. I just need to focus on the tour, he says. Then he looks at me mournfully, his eyes dark and shining. I only have a few days at home before we head off. This is such a big deal for us, Maeve, and I know it's not easy for you. But I nodded slowly, wondering what on earth has happened and how I can undo it. I better go, I say, because I don't want to burst into tears and make him feel worse than he does already. Maeve, don't. Let's talk. Just not about magic, okay? We sit in silence. I'm about to say something when suddenly he cuts me off. I did it, he says. I changed my name legally. Rue, I can't believe he's only saying this now, although given everything we talked about today, it's hard to see when else he would have told me. He must feel like his thunder has been stolen. You did it in Dublin. Mile and Honor were my witnesses, he says slyly. We got champagne afterwards. I smile and once again try to suppress tears. I had thought that I would be part of his name change. That was how we had planned it. Anyway, it makes sense, and he did it with Honor and Mile, though, who are the right age to be witnesses. Now this is another part of Rue's life, and I'm not a part of it. Another happy memory made without me, a living relic of his unhappiness once. I'm so happy for you, I say, but it comes out sounding wooden and insincere. I should go. He can see right through me. May, don't go. But I've already stepped out into the chilly October night, the cold wind stinging at my wet eyes. The tour starts next week, right? I ask. Next Sunday. Maybe it's better that we don't see each other until then. I say a statement I completely do not mean, or until you remember what happened to us, what has been happening to us for almost a year. I call you tomorrow, he says, but he doesn't look at me when he says it. He stares right at the steering wheel. Take plenty of honey and lemon. Get a grip, Rue. I snap and slam the door. I sit on my bed, holding on to my pillowcase and pillow. The soft covers and the smell of my own laundry feel reassuring and real, solid in a way that Rue no longer does. When staring at the ceiling doesn't provide the answers I need, I call Fiona. She picks up immediately. Joe, Fi, what happened to us? Huh? February, what happened? Maeve, are you asking me to remind you of the thing we literally talk about non-stop? Yes. Humour me. I start taking off my shoes as she starts to talk. Tug at the laces. Lily went missing because you summoned the housekeeper card. Things went bad and then we brought her back in a ritual, and then what happened? I ease off my shoe and hear the soft flap of a cardboard as it hits the floor. I look down and see that there is been a tarot card stuck to the sole of my shoe. What? I said, and then what happened? I picked it up. The 5 of Pentacles. The 5 of Pentacles means feeling lost or left out, among other things. But those are the two main things, and this relates to this story because May feels left out. 2 poor people, bandaged and on crutches, walk past the church door. It's supposed to be a card about charity and accepting help. We all got these weird powers, right? I breathe out in relief. Okay. Why? Why are you asking me this? I think a version of what's happening to me is happening to Rue. He's like forgetting what happened. I don't understand. I start gnawing on a hangnail. I start gnawing on a hangnail. Oh, that's the nail from your finger. Sorry, I was thinking of an iron nail. Tearing the skin, winching at the pain. I look at the 5 of Pentacles again, turning it upside down. The card isn't always about charity and accepting help. Of course, there is the flip meaning or the flip side to it. It can be about being locked out. He said that this is all a response to trauma from Lily going missing. What do you mean? What is the response to trauma? Like we are inventing things that we spent all summer in the tennis courts, and that's bad English, on the tennis courts, playing pretend because we needed to feel powerful. That we are all damaged and should have had counselling. There's silence on Fiona's end of the line. Well, maybe we should have. I don't know what to say because the truth is Fiona probably doesn't need to talk to someone. I need to go to bed, she says, suddenly sounding uncomfortable. Are you okay? Yeah, I lie, still turning the tarot card over. I don't think this belongs to any deck I own. Talk to you tomorrow. Good night. I fell asleep with the card in on my chest. And that was chapter 21. So I'll be putting this together tonight, and I hope you enjoyed it. I think exactly what I said. Rue is getting drained. They are all getting drained, but some of them haven't. The light bulb hasn't switched on yet. Well, I'll see you in the next chapter. Take care. Bye-bye.